Welcome back, design students. In this video, we're going to finish up our robot rig by locking down some motion tracks that we don't want the animator to use. For example, we don't want the animator to be able to scale this control object, so we will lock that track down. But before we get started, I want to fix the problem we had with the eye bugging out when we scale the global control. This was in the last video. To address that, we need to open up the layer manager and make the helpers layer visible. Now, if I select the global controller and scale it, you can clearly see that the eye helper is not following with everything else. So this is very easy to fix. Just select the eye helper and we need to link it to the body. And now everything should work. Let's test it out. Yep. And let's try rotation. So let's go ahead and hide the helpers layer again. So locking tracks is very simple. All we need to do is bring up the curve editor and select the object you want to work on. And if you don't see anything in here, then you need to click the filters button here and uncheck animated tracks only. And you have to click OK. And now that shows everything. So we want to freeze the scale track for the global controller. So select it and then simply right click on it and select lock. And now when we try to scale the global controller, it just will not scale. So let's do the same thing for the foot controller here. Lock that track. Lock the other foot controller scale track. And let's do the same thing for the body. And the eye control. And let's test them out. And they all work. So we can close the curve editor now. And we could add a little bit more security here by selecting all the body parts. Actually, let's just do this in the layer manager. Click the first one. Oops. Click the first one. Hold down Shift. Click the last one. And then let's right click and select Object Properties and uncheck Show Frozen in Gray. And then in this layer, we could simply freeze the body so that the body parts cannot be selected and moved. But that doesn't mean that they can't be moved with the controller. And actually, let's organize this a little better. Let's select everything in the default layer and make a new layer. And we'll go ahead and call this new layer Body Mesh. And then we can simply make the default layer the current layer and freeze the body mesh layer. And just to clean everything up, make sure everything's correct, let's select each of our control objects. And Alt, right click, and freeze their transforms. And we now have a fully rigged character that we can pass on to the animation department, and we can also animate him ourselves, and in the next series of videos we will do just that. And I'll see you then.